This is Steve from Boxing UK in Manchester with War Local Lass, Savannah Marshall. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Happy New Year. Get up to much? Did you come back home?
Yes, I was back in Hartlepool, just had a family one.
A couple of things that we've already talked about. Last time I interviewed you, I didn't switch the mic on.
Yeah.
And then there was that time in Costa I sat next to you and didn't recognise you, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So everything's working this time, I've double checked. You're back?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us more?
Yeah, so new year, new me.
Aye.
No, I'm back in Newcastle on April the 4th, which was where I was in October.
Yeah.
Got a brilliant reception.
You did, like?
Yeah, I was over the moon.
What did that mean to you?
Well, it was like that at the weigh-in. I remember people, when I walked up, and I was like, "How are you for me?" It was honestly, it was like, it was the most surreal experience ever.
I had kind of few fans. We were at the weigh-in, and you were getting battered a lot, weren't you?
Yeah. Believe it.
What's it mean to you to represent the North East? Because I know we're jumping ahead a bit, but you could potentially make history and be the first North East female world champion. No one will ever take that off you.
Exactly, yeah.
Would it mean a lot?
Of course it would. Along with a belt.
Aye.
Yeah, of course it would.
Would you have an open top parade in Hartlepool? Down the headland?
I'd be like, just give me a free parking permit so I can park anywhere I want. That's all I want of Hartlepool.
Any news on the opponent or what level of opponent you're going to be fighting?
I've been told that's for a title.
Alright. A world title?
No, not a world title. So, fingers crossed, decent opponent, tough one.
And then after that, we talked to Peter. Is there two women in your division hold 2 belts each?
Yeah, 2 belts each. So they've just boxed in January, both of them. One's got the WBA and the IBF, and the other one's got the WBC and the WBO. So obviously they've just boxed in January, so that's why obviously they'll have like mandatories or voluntaries, you know, that type of thing. But I'll be aiming for one of them.
You will unify by the end of the year?
That's the goal, yeah, that's what I want.
All 4 belts?
All 4, all 5.
The ring. Well. Of course you want the ring. The question everybody asks you, and I wanted to concentrate on unifying the division first, because in the interview that didn't work, you said that was your aim, and Claressa Shields was maybe something later. But everyone's asking you, is that something realistic, or is the weight an issue?
Oh no. I'm a big super middle, but I can make the weight easy. I've never been, 168 pounds. I've never weighed in on that. I could easily make middle. That's probably where I'm more comfortable. But like I said, I want to win a world title, and it's more realistic at super middle. And with there not being a lot of women, that was always my goal. Box at super middle, come down to middle.
Yeah.
See how it goes, maybe even try for super welter, but that's just a long time away. But because there isn't that many women, that's what I've got to do, because I think there's something like 19 registered boxers at super middle.
Aye.
So
you probably beat them all before you finish then. So obviously if you become undisputed with the 5 belts, that would potentially make a fight with Claressa Shields the biggest women's boxing bout ever, and I would include Katie Taylor in that.
Because there's a rivalry there.
Aye.
And we've both boxed before. And we never the way our roots went at, she went on to win the Olympic gold, I got beaten in the quarters, even in Rio, same again. So our paths have never crossed again.
Aye.
They always seem to be a bit like that, so.
But for the uninitiated, you are the only boxer to have beaten her.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'll tag her in the post. Would you have a message for her?
I'm coming. Slowly, but I'm coming.
What do you make of her? Because she's a Marmite character, isn't she, in the boxing world? It's the way that she goes on, and I don't know how much of it's an act, but what do you personally make of her as a fellow competitor?
As a person, I don't know her well enough. To be fair, I think she's quite comical. Some of the things she does say do make me laugh. But I've got no personal connection with her as a boxer. Yeah, she's 3-time world champion. Can't take that away from her. Yeah.
Go back to the world titles, because that's obviously the immediate goal. Would you want one of those world title fights in the northeast, or would you expect it to be somewhere else on a O2 show? Or?
Well, I think there's big things coming, obviously, with Lewis Ritson. Do you know, Lewis pulls in the crowd. Lewis brought boxing back to the northeast. Yeah. And I've seen a couple of interviews of his where he's saying he's wanting a world title shot at St James's Park. So hopefully that'll be this year. So that's another show in Newcastle.
Aye. We would sell it out, you know we would.
Yeah, of course.
Would you want to be main event?
If not, definitely call.
Aye, definitely. Just talking about women's boxing in general, Savannah, like the fact that we're sitting here talking to you and talking about mega fights and unifying titles, doesn't that tell you how far women's boxing's come? Oh
yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, since 2016, there was a lot of the pros that had turned over, and even for a lot of the amateurs that turned over, and even for the pros that were already existing, it's made it more spicy for them, because, you know, they're getting noticed more now when they're getting big fights, and so it's amazing.
It is. That said, we spoke to Peter, and he said you're very, very at home in this gym, which is a proper man's gym. What do you make of the setup, and what's it like to have someone like Peter Fury as your trainer? But, you know, bear in mind he's already won the world heavyweight title as a trainer once. That must be. You must sometimes pinch yourself to think that's in your corner.
Well, to be fair, when I first started training with Peter, it was when I was about to make my pro debut. I'd never trained with a professional trainer before, so we had like a mutual connection. And Peter had said, "Oh," I was more into this mutual connection, saying, "Oh, I've never actually trained with a pro coach." And Peter had said, "Oh, well, she can come and train with me." And at the time, although I'd been at the Olympics and the Worlds, and, you know, I was a well-seasoned amateur, I was never really interested in the pros. You know, I'd never watched it, or I kind of knew who the Furies were, but I wasn't a mega fan or anything like that. So I was like, oh yeah, there's some pro coaches going to blah blah blah. And it was only when I was in his company and he was telling me stories, and it kind of like hit me a bit, and I was like, God, this is some big deal, this. And I just went on from there. I just feel like, just my confidence, not as a boxer, but as a person. I just feel like I've just grown so much since being a part of, you know, Peter's team.
Yeah, for a lass who gave me the death stare when I first walked in here.
No, because I thought I'd seen you, but I was like, yeah, sorry. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I'm sure I know him.
It was the death stare, and then when you were on the pads with Peter and whacking them pads, you're quite a shy lass considering you can do that.
I was in the zone. But no, I seen you come in, I thought, I recognised you first, I thought, have I arranged this? Because I'm terrible with like keeping on top of things. I was like, oh God, I've arranged this interview. And then when Peter said hello, I thought, thank God it wasn't me.
No, it was all through Peter. Savannah, lovely to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm going back home to Hartlepool now. Any message for back home? Do you want any post dropping off?
Don't take that M62 because it'll be chocker.
Oh, it will, Actually, I might go to the Everton match the other way, so make the night of it. Right. Savannah Marshall, good luck this year. Probably speak to you at the presser at Newcastle. But good luck, and I look forward to touching those 5 belts.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you.